It is my honor and pleasure to present my good friend, someone that has worked tirelessly for religious freedom and for Christians and Christianity in the Middle East, Africa, and globally. In defense of Christians is honored to have Chair Nadine Maenza as our Cedars of God Award. And this is made from the Cedars of God from Lebanon, presented by IDC's 2021 honoree, Chair Nadine Maenza, Chair for the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom. With extreme gratitude for your focus on religious freedom and its vital role in combating Christian persecution around the world. We thank you for all that you have done for the persecuted and for the protection and preservation of Christians and Christianity in the Middle East. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree and grow like a cedar in Lebanon. 92:12.
Thank you so much. Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
One more.
Thank you. Thank you so much. First of all, I just want to say how humbled I am and honored, and I really feel like I'm just doing what's before me, so thank you. Thank you. It's especially memorable because I just visited the Cedars of Lebanon this past August, and it was really a spectacular place, so it means a lot for me to receive this year. And, you know, I want to just thank In Defense of Christians for the amazing support and partnership over the last couple of years. I've spent most of my years in my career behind the scenes, and so I feel more comfortable there doing the work. But, you know, came a point where there were things that weren't being said that needed to be said, and I kind of was forced to come out, and I thank you for helping make that easier by coming alongside me. You know, there has been a decent amount of opposition to some of the work I've done in the past couple of years, which has been daunting, especially when it's nation states and those who are aligned with them. And I want to clarify something about that I do welcome robust debates and questioning, and even people that have a different point of view. I don't consider that opposition. That's how we get to good policy. But I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But I simply want to say that I couldn't stand without the support of IDC, my friends, my family there, you know, Tufik, Stephen, Richard, Sarah. Of course, I see Peter that left not long ago, way back there. Christina, others, and of course my fellow advisory board members. I'm amazed at your dedication to the persecuted church and the professionalism and integrity you bring to everything that you do. I also appreciate the support of Patriot Voices and the other organizations I've worked with, and USCIRF, of course. You know, USCIRF is a special place where we don't allow partisanship to interfere with our advocacy for religious freedom, and that is also another important part of IDC. These are not partisan issues, and we should never let them become that. So I thank you for that. In the past year while we've been on lockdown, I've been fortunate to spend the last about a couple of months on the ground in places like, as you heard, Northeast Syria, Iraq, and Lebanon this summer. I can't stress how important it is to go and just listen. I know not everyone can always do that, and I certainly couldn't do that in different seasons of my life, but I'm thankful I can do that now, and I thank those of you that are willing to listen when I return. It really seems there are two different groups when it comes to religious freedom, two different universes. There's the Washington, D.C. policy world, and then there's the ground. Washington matters. It's where policy is determined and implemented. Think tanks, Congress, White House, of course, they implement the policy we're talking about. All these play an important role on finding that right place forward, but Washington is only as good as how it understands what is happening on the ground and how their policies impact not just the geopolitical landscape, but the people that live there. We've all seen the results of when Washington gets it wrong. By being in a fog about the realities on the ground, like in Afghanistan, or by looking away and refusing to acknowledge the truth, like with what Turkey has done. So we simply can't allow Washington to ignore the realities on the ground or just look away when things get hard. Lebanon is hard, but there may be no easy way forward, but there is a way forward, and we have to find it and fight for it. Turkey is hard. They're a NATO ally. But there is a way to keep them in check, but we're just not doing that right now. You know, currently, in the last few weeks, they've been bombing Assyrian villages in the Kabra River Valley, killing civilians and forcing some of the last survivors of the ISIS genocide to flee. They just bombed a hospital in Sinjar within the last few months, killing civilians. And these civilians were former genocide survivors. Sorry, Turkey, but that is not fighting the PKK. That looks more like targeting religious minorities. And of course, northeast Syria is hard. You have Turkey, Russia, Assad, Iran all on the ground. But it's important that we get this policy right. And the other thing about northeast Syria I wanted to mention is, you know, the other thing we get wrong is we focus so much on building these security systems in these countries, like Afghanistan, for instance, that we look away at the governance, which is really the most important part if we really want to preserve religious freedom and human rights. And so if we want to stop this elusive forever wars like we talk about in Syria, the key really is governance. That's how we hold the ground we won so we don't have to come back again. And Northeast Syria has built that in the autonomous administration of Northeast Syria. So if we want to stop going back again, we need to be investing in governance that's authentic, that's built by the people, not necessarily by us. And Iraq, of course, is hard. But we have a responsibility to the Christians, Yazidis, and other religious minorities to continue to fight for them. So of course I could go on and on about how hard all these other areas are, but they're still worth us being there and fighting for them. So one of the most important things about IDC is this. They connect people on the ground and real information from the ground with decision makers in Congress and the administration. And that is how we get it right. And I think that is why I immediately was in synergy with you guys, because I appreciated that. And that is why people in the ground respect you and people in Congress respect you in the administration, because you're able to bring that all together. So I really dedicate this award to IDC, and I just look forward to continuing to work with you to better advocate for our brothers and sisters on the ground. Thank you.